Hello my friends and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft episode number 26. I'm so excited. I'm very happy to have you all back because today I feel like building and I want to build a lot. We're gonna start off by doing a little bit of spatial planning. Then we're gonna build a farm for this little mountain village of ours, and I'm thinking cocoa beans. I don't think that I've built a cocoa bean farm on a YouTube video before, so this could be exciting. We'll see what we can do. Before we get started though, it is Christmas. As of the time of this recording, it is actually Christmas Day, so my friends, Merry Christmas. That being said though, this video is probably only gonna come out to you guys on the 3rd of January 2022, so Happy New Year's as well? But back on topic for a little bit. Honestly, a cocoa bean farm, probably not the most exciting thing ever, and they're notoriously annoying because you can't fully automate them. There is no easy way to just make replanting of cocoa beans easy. That has to be manual. Damn, these chests are confusing. I get a bit of a fright every time I see that. I don't know why, that just freaks me out in Minecraft. Anyway, in the last episode we did some mining, some caving, and we got a ton of resources. This is only from last episode. The coal and the lapis and everything else I've already converted and boxed. But this is a very nice way to show you quite how much we got from it. Look at all of this copper, my friends. That resulted in nearly 3 stacks of copper blocks, which gives us an absolutely stupid amount of copper at the moment. And remember, all of this can be quadrupled at a stone cutter. 1 block of copper gives us 4 blocks of cut copper. That is a stupid amount of copper, my friends, which is a really good thing for me because I absolutely love working with copper. It's such a beautiful block, and I think we're going to be using them in at least one build today. That's right, I'm thinking of building multiple things. I want to get this village expanded a bit more. I want to put at least 3 more buildings in here, one of which is going to be a bit of a cocoa bean farm. And I want to expand down and out, and I want to fill this, but I've got so many plans for this village now. Oh, last episode was good. So in order to do all of that, I'm gonna have to get rid of some of these trees, because I'm thinking the first place I want to build will be in here. And because I know that wasn't necessarily very clear, we've got the moss farm down here and this walkway spreading out through, like coming across here. I want its entrance to sit around here, and it's gonna sit underneath the dripstone farm that we built 2 episodes ago, and our little starter house, which should be just up here. Over there. Mountain sheep. So with some space cleared out, some trees removed, I think I've decided that I don't want it to exit from this point, because that way I'll have a door, a piece of wall, and then a column roughly in this corner, and that's gonna line up perfectly with the building back there, which I definitely don't want to do. I want them to be offset. I want the roofs to not line up with one another. So I think instead we're gonna take the door out in this direction, and I'm gonna build a bit of a foyer / lobby area here at the bottom, maybe a storefront, and then the factory bit in the back. And this could be like a little biscuit shop, a cookie shop, because these are going to be cocoa beans. Maybe a chocolate shop or something. And the shop front can be down here while the main factory sits back here on top of / inside of this hill. So I've got some resources gathered over here. I've got 2 shulker boxes that kind of blend into the trees. Did you even know they were there until I pointed it out? I didn't until I pointed it out. How does that even work? Anyway, I have some resources. I'm thinking I want to work with a lot of stone in this one, a lot of grey, because I don't have too many. I mean, I have grey. I used grey as trim, but I use grey as trim. I don't think I have many stone walls around, so this one we're gonna do some stone walls, and obviously we're gonna use some of this cut copper, a lot of it, because I really like it. Yep, I definitely haven't used stone as a wall block in this village before. Nope, definitely haven't. With a little bit of planning and layout done, we now have some doors, and I felt it would be a pretty nice idea to just drop the floor of the main storefront down. I like that. It makes the entrance seem more important, like you step in and you can see the whole shop front, which arguably is rather empty at this moment, but we'll do something about that, I'm sure. Maybe not in today's episode, but sure. And then this chest over here, I really don't like this texture, I'm not gonna lie, but anyway. This is where I'm thinking I'm gonna have the cocoa beans funneled to. This is gonna be my final output chest for the cocoa beans, but up here we're gonna build the farm. Now again, it's not gonna be a massive farm. This is a niche thing. I'm never gonna need a ton of cocoa beans for anything, so I think this will be plenty enough for us, and I've got the jungle logs that we're gonna need to build this farm. But I want to figure out the redstone first, so for that we're going to need to take our redstone box with us, hop back up in here, and then I got some brain wiggling and things to figure out. A little bit of time later, I have what is probably a very expensive, unnecessarily expensive cocoa bean farm that is fully functional, and the redstone is very simple. All that makes it expensive is the absolutely ridiculous amount of hoppers that I have down here. Now the reason I have all of these hoppers down here is because when these cocoa beans break, they pop off, they jump, they fly in all kinds of directions, and I can guarantee you now that this farm will not be lossless. I will have some cocoa beans. Whoa, I just walked out through my own window. That'll be falling on this edge or that end edge over there, and that's fine. It really doesn't matter. This farm is not here for super efficiency. Now I know I could theoretically put a wall of glass or something in the front to prevent them from popping forward, and that way I would only need one row of hoppers, but how do I replant my cocoa beans then? That is a good question. So for now, this is how it is going to be working, and you can see the water dripping through the stairs at the top, and basically all this is, right, is I have at the back here 14 sticky pistons that are all permanently extended. They are powered by this redstone torch, and the way you trigger this farm is by turning off that redstone torch with a very simple little redstone line. I probably don't even need this repeater here, but anywho, from one little button. So first trigger. Let's see if this thing works now that I've got the water and the cocoa beans in place. And there you go, the water flows, everything gets picked up, and because it's a button, it's just a short pulse. It goes away eventually, which means your water gets blocked off, and eventually it's gone. And I can go ahead and throw those 6 cocoa beans into the floor over there. And I've even already linked it up to down here. You can just see the hopper sticking out behind the chest. But there we go, it is flowing in. So up there I have a wall of jungle wood logs that is 5 tall by 14 wide, and if my math checks out, that gives us 70 plantable blocks. So we just harvested that thing, and from that, this is what we got. Now we've invested that, and if my math is correct again, a stack and 16, which means we more than double our investment every time we trigger this farm. Now that sounds pretty good to me. I definitely cannot math. It's not a stack and 16, it's a stack and 6. That gives you 70. But replanted, and while we wait for this stuff to grow up again, we can cover this thing in. And with a relatively simple click, we get to harvest our farm in its completed build. It's a little slow, a little annoying, but again it is a very niche farm, and it doesn't actually look like I get any cocoa beans falling where they don't belong. I didn't pick up any either. So that was a very successful collection. But as you can see, it has a ceiling. It even has a very nice little peek window into the rafters where you can't actually get any access, but you know, that's okay. It has a ceiling down here as well, it has lighting, and I think for today's episode that's going to be as much interior work as I'm going to do on this, but it works. We've got cocoa beans filtering in. On the exterior, voila! It is a very large building actually, but I really like it. It looks a little bit more factory-esque, but it is a chocolate factory, I suppose? I really like it. I think it looks really, really grand. From a more stable vantage point, I really like that. It does conceal quite a lot of the previous build that we did in the last episode, well, in 2 episodes ago, but that's okay, because buildings aren't necessarily built in real life now all the time with their neighboring buildings in mind, particularly not when it's a more industrial building, and they don't really care. In an ideal world, yes, we do want every building to interact with one another, but this is still an interaction. That building might not be very happy about this, but I like it. Really like it. Really big windows because it is supposed to be a shop front down here, while at the top they are narrower. This looks good. Moving on. Way out here in the plains section in front of our mountain, I've built a bit of a scaffolding viewing platform for ourselves. It's temporary, don't worry. But I just want to be able to do a bit of planning, and I need to look at the village from a distance, because this isn't quite the same as the old world village where you just build houses next to one another and then you populate in between. You landscape and you make things pretty. This is very different because of the mountain. I need to figure out how I'm going to circulate, how I'm going to get to parts of this along this mountain, and how I want these walkways to work. So one thing I think I want to do is this blank spot right in front of us here will also ultimately, I think, become the main access to this village from this plains area and potentially from the ocean way out over there. So I need to be able to get down here, and I can from that platform come down this way a little bit, which I think will be perfect, and then from this platform over here I can step down and the two can meet down here at the bottom and make a bit of a loop eventually. Another thing I would like to do is this platform that wraps around there. I want to join with this platform over here at some point, because that will then loop around our starter house and make another closed loop. And I'm thinking I'm going to put another building right here and have these two pathways meet on the left of that building. So my immediate plans right now, I need to get some pathways in and try and figure out where I'm going to have space for buildings. So I like the way that this layout sits here. I think it'll work quite nicely, and it gives me a couple of nice spaces to build some buildings. However, you'll notice I've left these trees over here, so between the cocoa bean farm that we just built and this ramp down, I don't think I'm going to build anything. I'm going to leave that quite lush, because I've been using that tree a lot in my intros and outros, and I think it'll remain there. Sentimental values and all that. Similarly, there are still a couple of small trees right next to this guy on both ends. So I don't think I'm going to remove those either, as well as the ones underneath our first little copper building that we built in this area. But just to the left of that, we've got a nice big rectangle to build some things in, and right there was an Enderman who botched up. If I find him, I'm going to smack him. But here we also have quite a lot of space. I'm thinking 2 buildings can fit into this space and one over here, and the sun is setting. How dare you, sir? Wow, that's bright. Let me get some building done. As a note, I really would love to give you guys this in the form of a time-lapse, but I am really having a hard time getting the replay mod working in 1.18. I think it's a clash with Optifine these days, and I don't know if they're ever gonna fix it. So, whoops. We'll see where that goes. Also, purely by accident, I discovered that this little village of ours looks really, really good at nighttime with its glow. That's stunning. For the first of the three little houses, I'm thinking I'm going to start here on the far side, and we're going to work our way that way with each consecutive build. This is the shulker box for this build. I felt like going a lot of stone, maybe some dark oak roof accents, because the only dark oak roof we have so far is our starter house, and there are two other buildings between it and this one. An interesting thing is that the main entrance to the building is actually going to be down there. This is actually just going to step onto the top patio, the roof of the building if you will, and then that will also have an entrance leading down into it. House number 1, complete. Now again, nothing too fancy here, just like with these others. It is not furnished really. It has a bed in it, you know, just in case, and it is lit up quite nicely, so no mobs will be spawning in it. I should come and put in a pressure plate, but for the rest of it, it does have a nice bit of a patio that's raised up off of the main walkway, which I really like. It is something that I really liked about this one, our first copper house. It also had a bit of a raised patio stepping into the building. Now this one has a similar feel. So it sits higher than the walkway, it's not right there in your face, it is very grey, but that's okay I think, because if we come back to this platform, that's alright. It's very green around for the rest, and the pathways and everything adds a lot of the brown textures, along with that dark oak roof which just breaks up the stone at the bottom and the andesite at the top. And there we have house number 2, this one, tall and lanky. And unlike some of the other houses like that one, this one, and to a degree the one we just finished, which all have entrances at the bottom, although that one does have the little patio entrance as well, this building's only entrance is on its top floor, and then one can lead it down into a bottom living area kind of floor. In my head that would probably be the bedroom / living room, and this would be your kitchen area you can enter and all that kind of fun stuff. But it does have a little patio out front. Reason being for that patio is otherwise this would have just been a very tall, narrow building without any really good proportions, and that staircase is wrong. Whoa, come back here, Mr. Rocket. What that was supposed to be is like that staircase, where it's sloped outward or sloped forward instead of inward, like that one. Unfortunately, given the location and proportions of this specific building, it isn't necessarily quite so simple to fix, and I don't have any others on me. Jump down, take a little bit of damage, thank goodness for feather falling boots, or I would have been bugged a long time ago. Let's grab that guy and put it back. There we go. Front little patio does for us is instead of this building just being straight and perfectly aligned on both ends, it kind of juts out to one side and breaks that long static line that we had here. I like this one too. Yes. I don't know how I feel about this third building. Of everything on it, right, I really like everything from this line where those oak stairs are up to this line of dark oak slabs. Everything in between I like, and that's saying a lot because those are diorite walls, just plain old diorite walls, and I hate using diorite. But it goes surprisingly well with the calcite, and I really like how it has this slightly, like the dark shadow glow around the edges, if that makes any sense. I tried using a different kind of grey block here at the base in the smooth stone, but I think I really hate it. And I wanted to bring in some of this, the amethyst blocks, but I think I really hate this roof shape as well. And it's difficult because it's a even numbered building. I don't know how I managed to do that, because the base is not an even numbered thing, it's a weird diagonal square of some sort, I think. But this is how it worked out. So it's now kind of like a watchtower, a lighting tower of some sort, I think, here on the corner. Because everything that's going to come forward here is going to be significantly lower. So this thing is going to protrude way above any of the roofs that are going to sit in front of it. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Give me your opinions down in the doobly-doos. As for its close-up, well, there's not much going on here. We've just got some scaffolding to get us up and down in the middle. It's a very narrow, empty thing, and then from here we have a bit of a lookout point that looks straight into the side of a building over here. Not much this way, but you know, this and this, yeah, they're kind of nice views. I honestly don't know how I feel about this one. And well, that I think is where we're gonna end the episode. A lovely little nighttime view of the village we've built so far. I really like it. We've definitely filled out a lot of it today, and if we just have a look, we've definitely filled out a massive chunk of this village. I mean, we added 4 new structures to it and just about doubled the amount of pathways we had. So today was a very successful and productive day. Some of what we built was better than others, i.e. the very last thing we built is a little questionable, but successful nonetheless, and it looks really, really good at the night. In the night. Words. Yes. This episode has taken a lot longer to make than I need to stop talking now. My friends, if you've enjoyed this episode, you all know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and until next time, my friends, have an absolutely brilliant one.